Hey everybody, it's Rachel with Rachel Q Stitches and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. This is a channel mostly about cross stitch. Friday I did do a quilt video. If you're interested in quilting, you can go ahead and check that video out. If you're here because of my quilt video, I hope you stick around and look at some of my cross stitch stuff. I probably will be doing more quilt videos. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed showing off what I make quilt wise. I don't quilt as much as I want to, but hopefully soon I can get back into that. If you're a regular viewer, thank you so much for stopping by, for coming back. I appreciate it. I appreciate each of you that come by every week and comment. It really helps boost my self-esteem, if you will, just to know that somebody's out there actually paying attention to what I'm saying. So, if y'all excuse me, I have a serious headache today, but I am plugging through. Tuesday's a very busy day for me, and why I started making videos on Tuesday, I will never know. But our last small group meets church tonight, and so I am excited about the break, but last night it stormed, and I did not sleep well. I took a tumble Saturday. Bashed up my thumb, got a big bruise on my knee. If you don't know me, I fall easy. I have a balance issue. Not bad, but enough that every now and then, if I start to fall, I really can't stop myself. But anyway, so I'm gonna be one of those old ladies. My kids were like, "Did you break a hip?" I'm like, "No, y'all, stop. I'm not old enough to be breaking hips yet, hopefully." Anyway, so I took a tumble, so I have a headache from that, and my back hurt, my neck hurt, and with it raining, I just, anyway, woke up with baggy eyes, and I feel like I'm puffy from the whole thing, and anyway, so, but I'm here, and I'm here to talk about stitching, and you're here to hear about stitching, and not about the fact that I can't maintain balance. Anyway, this is FlossTube number 19. 19, y'all. Thank y'all for sticking around for 19 videos. 20 if you count my one quilt one. It is May 11th, 2021. And I appreciate each of y'all visiting with me. So this past week, I got some stitching done. And I don't know if I showed you this last week. No idea. But, Stitchy Stars. I actually got some work done on it. I think it actually goes like this. So I finished a block. I'm using personal floss Ada that I dyed, and I believe it's a 16 count. I can't tell, I don't have my glasses on. 16 count, and this is a floss that I inherited from my mom and my grandmother. So that's Stitchy Stars. America and I did not meet up much today, this week, except for maybe last Tuesday a bit, maybe Wednesday, and then yesterday I picked it up. Well, this is America by Calico Confectionery off of Etsy, and it's an instant download. And this is my progress. Now you see that letter R that I'm working on right here? I have stitched this leg of the R 3 times. First time I stitched it correctly. No, first time I stitched it, I was down by 1 row. I started 1 row too far down, and it looked bad. I couldn't fudge it. So I ripped it out, started over, and realized I was using 2 threads. This is 18 count coffee tea dye by me, Ada, and I'm using 1 over, and so I was using 2, so I had to rip it out, and then finally got it restarted again this morning. Last night I ripped out the count, folded it up, put it aside, woke up this morning fresh after a thunderstorm all night long, and stitched it with 2. So there it is, America. I still love this piece. It's going slow. I don't work it on it every day. It is going slow. I love the letters. That's what made me buy it, were those letters. They're just gorgeous, but they take some thought. You know, they're not your typical, the land right there, I stitched that in no time. These are taking a little bit of time, but I love it. I still love it. It's beautiful, and I love her designs. I just know now to give myself more time to stitch it. Either that or focus just on it. But I really like it. I'm gonna put this one aside because we're gonna talk about this one later. So for the month of May, originally I'm gonna stitch what I want. That was my philosophy for May. It is my birthday. I will do what I want. Yes, I was being a rebellious 2-year-old. But I decided to stitch Sunday stitches by Heartstring Samplery. I have January through April, and I should be getting the invoice for May. In fact, I need to check my email. I'll probably have it already. So this, I started with It Is Well With My Soul. And for this, I am using DMC conversion, 16 count, Ada, that I dyed using Dynaflow fabric paint. And this is what I've done so far. I believe last week I might have had this done and a little bit of the stem. So I stitched the flower, and the words should go pretty fast. They're just, you know, they're not terribly intricate, but they should go pretty fast. So my goal is to do a new start every Monday. Since by the end of May I will have 5 charts, and there are 5 Mondays in May. And then my goal is to every time I get a new one, start it, and then focus on one of them to finish in that month. May, I should be done with this one. I don't know if I'll be done with any others by the end of May, but by the end of May I should be done with this one. So I'll be starting June with 4. So It Is Well With My Soul. And then this is the second one I started. I will cling to the Old Rugged Cross. The Old Rugged Cross, I should have taken that out, y'all, I'm sorry. There it is, the Old Rugged Cross. And this is again 16 count Ada that I dyed with Dynaflow, and there's my start. See? I started it. Is that a start? Does that count as a start? You know, I think I put in 1 length of thread. Now I am using 2/1, and this one I had to change my needle size. It was really tight, like the flower and whatnot. I think I did this one 2/1 too, and I think I'm actually going to take those 7 stitches out, and I think I'm going to do 1/1 and see if I like it better. I don't know. I do think this, I love it. I love the way it looks. I really do. But I think the look I want to go for is more of a vintagey 1-thread look versus a full, you know, modern-esque. And I don't know. Maybe I'll switch it around. Maybe some will be over 1, some 1/1, some will be 2/1. I don't know. We'll see. But these are my 2 Sunday stitches. Starts. So, and then I am working on the Serendipity Stitch Along with Fat Quarter Shop. This is 4th release. The new one is coming out Saturday, so I'm going to stitch 1 a day until I get it done. So that when Saturday rolls around, I can start the new one, and I'll be pretty much on task for it. This is 14 count Ada, navy blue, that I inherited from my mom. It was in her stash, and it was, you know, 1/2 inch too small on either side for 3-inch borders, but I'm going to frame it myself. So that's it right there. I am using Call for DMC, and it's a free pattern on their website with a suggested donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. There you go. And thanks to my friend Sue. I think I've mentioned Sue before. Sue, if you're watching, hey Sue. She tagged me in a post on Instagram by Blue Nickel Studios, and I will link their Instagram account below. And they were doing Joyeux Noel, and if you remember Joyeux Noel, it is a free chart by Aurifil that I started, and I had done this part right here, this little part, one page, and it was stressing me out. I was not enjoying it. I was not enjoying the chart. The chart is, there are no symbols, it's colors. There's 4 different reds, and they all look the same to me. There's 4 different greens, they all look the same to me. There's 2 different golds, and they all look the same to me. They all look the same. So she tagged me in this post, and this person in Blue Nickel Studios was doing each of the 12 days of Christmas individually. And I said, genius, genius. It was genius. So I cut up my fabric, and I started day 1, and I am enjoying it so much more. I'm choosing the colors as I want. I'm deciding if it's going to be a green, if it's going to be a red, if I'm going to use brown or gray. And I am just, thank you, Sue. Thank you, Blue Nickel Studios, for the idea. I'm in love. I'm in love with it. So much better. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these little individual ornaments. No idea. No clue. I have an idea of what I'd like to do. But I'm going to see if I actually do it. But this is it right here. I've changed it up, y'all. What I'm going to do with that little piece, I'll probably cut it and frame it and maybe finish, you know, so it looks a little bit more even, and then call it done. But there it is. I changed it up. So thank you, Sue. Thank you so much. Many of you know I inherited a storage unit of my mother's crafting supplies, along with this cabinet full of fabric and a studio full of stuff. So I have been slowly, for the past almost 3 years, going through her things, figuring out what I can keep, what I can use. It's my grandmother's dishes, it's my mom's silver, it's just all kinds of stuff. But it's been a slow process. My husband is patient with me, my dad is patient with me, my brother not so much. So anyway, but I found these little things in her sewing stuff, and I have to show them. And if anybody has any little ideas, I am not crafty in the sense of being able to make little crafty things. So here's what I found. Mom made it. I remember my mom getting these, and I remember her sitting down and doing them. She loved the beading. The actual act of cross stitch, not so much. She did some embroidery. She did do some cross stitch, and I'm going to show those one day. I showed the ornament that she had started, that I finished the rest of them, I believe in my first or second video. And but I remember her really, really, really liking the beading. So if y'all have any ideas of what I can do with these, I thought about maybe framing them. Let me see if I can do this, if it'll work. Oh yeah, look, framing them, you know, like this. And I would do kind of a la Stitching with the Housewives type of frame. Just seeing if I can do something like that. I think I might do that. I might do that. But I don't know how to back these. I don't know, how would you back these? You know, like you can see right here, she was really, really close to the top. So I don't know if I should just leave, you know, even them up, if I should, I don't know. If anybody has any ideas, I haven't hit Pinterest yet to see what they would suggest. But anyway, I was so excited when I found these. I was like, oh, you know, finding things that Mom made just, you know, makes my heart happy. You know, you feel like she touched it, you know. She put thought into it. She probably sat down and did it while watching a movie with Daddy, you know. So anyway, if y'all have any ideas, let me know. But I do think I want to go with the 3 angel, framing them like that. I think that's probably what I'll do. But I don't, like I said, I don't know how to back them. I wouldn't know what to do. So you'll remember last week I talked about waiting for a package to come in. And it finally came in. The big old thing with the post office apparently was put on the wrong truck. And the other truck driver basically wrote that I wanted it left at the post office, which isn't true because he didn't even see me because it wasn't my truck. Called the post office. It came the next day. I signed up for the Floss Frenzy. Got an email that they had opening for the Week Style Works and the Classic Color Works. So I signed up, and it just so happened that this month was my favorite color. So I am excited. If you've been watching me for any length of time, you know that I stitch mainly with DMC and thrift store floss. And so I love my DMC. I don't know how long I'm going to stick with this. This was kind of a birthday present to myself. I think I might get to, a couple of months and just see how I like it. I wish they would sell, more combo packs. Like, I know they sell like the packs for, kits and whatnot, but they do smell a little funky. It might be the plastic, but anyway, so this is what I got. This is what I was waiting for. And I bought one chart. I have, in cleaning out Mom's things, discovered photographs that I never knew existed of my mom's side of the family. I knew about the pictures of my mom, but the picture I found, one of them was my grandmother when she was in the 8th grade. My grandmother, my mom's mom, never graduated past the 8th grade. When she was 2 years old, 3 years old, her dad died. Her parents were only married 5 years when he died. They were both, my great-grandparents were both older when they married, late 20s, early 30s, I want to say. And so my mom always said, by the time her grandmother, my great-grandmother, was 40, she was a widow with 2 young children. And so she, they married, later in life or whatever. And he ended up dying. I think my dad said he had cancer. Not sure. And anyway, so I discovered these pictures. And in doing Ancestry, I discovered a picture that my great-grandmother's sister's descendants posted of her. And so I have one picture of my great-grandmother. It was taken probably in the 50s, maybe 40s. But anyway, point being, I found my grandmother, my great-grandmother. I have a picture of my grandfather when he was in college. Never knew he went to college. I knew that he was a successful businessman. I did not realize that he had gone to college for 2 years. I knew that he was in the National Guard and that he was a member of the rifle team and the pistol team, shooting team. He's won several medals, which we don't have because they were stolen. And so anyway, point being is I want to do a wall with all these photos. I found a picture of my dad's grandparents, so my great-grandparents on my dad's side. I have pictures of my husband's grandparents, not too many when they were young, but I have some of his great-grandparents when they were older. And so anyway, so I was looking for a chart that I could put on the wall and then put pictures of our relatives that have passed on. And I found this by Blackbird Studios. And I fell in love with it. I said, that's it. That's what I want to do. So I know where in the house I want to put it. And, with all the pictures. And so I need to get the threads together. It will probably be on, depending on how big it's going to end up being, it'll probably be on, it's not focusing. It'll probably be on 18 count Aida like I normally do things. Unless it's going to be too small, then I'll do it on 16 count. But so this is my chart purchase that I did for myself. I did get it off of Etsy. I don't know why it's so tiny. It says Reward of Merit Sampler. Like, you know, like I said, I've been out of cross stitch for over 20 years. And so a lot of these things that I'm falling in love with are out of print, or I have no idea what they're for. So I'm just kind of buying what I like and stitching what I like and rediscovering my new style of stitching, because it's changed, you know, obviously since I last stitched 20-something years ago. So the last thing I have is I went to my favorite creative reuse store here in town, and I got a couple of rolls. I'm not going to show you because they're just a couple of rolls of pearl cotton. They sell, you know, used rolls of pearl cotton for 25 cents, and I am doing a wool project with Log Cabin Stitcher. And so I have wool from my mom's stash, but I have some pearl cotton, but it's number 5, so it's a little thick for me. So I wanted to get some thinner pearl cotton, and so they had some, and so I just went digging through their bin and found some colors that went with the wool that I have, and so it's boring. But I did find these in their wood section, and they are from Woolco. Y'all remember Woolco? They were 98 cents. And they're these little wooden rods, and they have little videos on the end. I thought they would be so cute for hanging up a band sampler or something. Anyway, they were 50 cents each. Half price. They were regularly 98 cents each. So I just thought they were cute. They were new old stock. They had one that was open that only had one little knob on it, and I passed. They're finished, so they're not, you know, raw wood. They have a little finish on them. They're 12 inches, so I thought they were cute. Not too bad. And then I went to my favorite thrift store, which is where I fell. And they always have a little outside tables where everything's 25 cents. Normally it's in the parking lot. This was on grass, and you know, if the ground's uneven, I will find whatever is protruding or a hole or whatever, and I will fall. And I did. You know, there were 2 people shopping, and they both just looked at me like I was crazy. I was on the ground, people. My hand was bleeding. The lady at the store was... My thumb was bleeding, and the girl goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." That was it. But anyway, I walked out with one thing. I actually walked out with 2 things. I need to go get the other one. Isn't it cute? It was 25 cents. Yes, I continued shopping. I did buy my this. I'm going to have to put a little barg on across the top there. And, but I thought I would just use like a paint stirrer and put that right there. And then I'll end up just probably spray painting it red or white and get rid of the little tree and find some kind of little Christmas thing on it. And I don't know. I thought it was cute. We don't get snow here in Louisiana, but I can still have a wooden sled. And hang on, I'm gonna go get that other bag. I'm back. Okay, so this is the bag. It was 25 cents. And it came with a lot of seam binding and, you know, loose buttons and whatnot. Like I don't have enough buttons, but I got it for this. I thought this was absolutely precious. Grandmother's so dear. It's, you know, it's made in China. But anyway, but it had this, which was just so stinking cute. Don't know how old it is. I got it for the seam binding. I like lacy vintage seam binding. I am participating in a quilt along, sort of kind of quilt along, but it was for vintage, using vintage linens. And so I might make a video on that as soon as I get one of the blocks done, which, you know how that goes. And then, hold on. I just remember, hold on. Sorry, my dryer was bouncing across the floor. I had to go, my washer. I had to go see something. Stop it. Balance the load. Anyway, it uses vintage linens, which I've collected over the years. And then my mom's second cousin, I believe, my great-grandmother's sister, her granddaughter gave me a bunch of vintage linens that my great-grandmother and her her grandmother worked on together. Nobody in her family wanted them, and she knew I liked this kind of stuff, so she passed them on to me, which was very, very sweet. So I have those, and so I want to make a quilt with them. Some of them I'm going to leave because they're big, and they're like tablecloth size, and they're in really, really, really good condition. And then I've purchased some for like 25 cents at estate sales that they're kind of, you know, not too great. But anyway, so I'm going to do something with those, and that's why I'm buying the seam tape, that lacy seam tape, seam binding, because I can use them in that. But anyway, another thing I got at the place where I fell was this little frame, 25 cents. I thought it was cute. Like I said, I don't know what I'm using it for. It's going to go in my frame box right now. And then I went to Hobby Lobby. My husband played golf. He felt bad. He's like, do you mind me playing golf on Mother's Day weekend? I was like, no, I'd really like you to go because then I can go shopping and do what I want to do. He's like, okay, see you. So he went to play golf, and I went to Hobby Lobby. And I went to Hobby Lobby, and I bought this Ada. You know, I like 18 count Ada. It's my favorite. But this, it's called Vintage. And it's got kind of a gray cast to it. I think I might end up using it for, I got 2 pieces, and they're 11.5 by 18. So I'll probably end up using these for 2 of my Sunday stitches. Because all the fabrics that they use are like, it depends on how big. Right now I'm using 16 count. So it really just depends on how big it'll end up being finished. But anyway, so I bought 2 of those because I like them. I haven't seen this before at Hobby Lobby. So it was new to me. And then I bought some fabric. I have a piece of this fabric, and the only reason I bought it is because I knew I had a piece, and I want to make a project bag with it, and so I needed a bigger piece. Isn't it cute? It's like vintagey kitchen stuff. So I don't know what I do with it, but I absolutely love it. I bought 2 pieces. They were in the remnant bin. Might actually end up making curtains for my kitchen. But my kitchen's a new kitchen. It's kind of modern, and you know, we lived in an old house. We fixed up an old house when we were first married, and this would just look so cute in it. I miss that old house. But anyway, I thought I'd make I'm gonna attempt to make a project bag. This would go cute, even though it's kitcheny. I think this will look cute with the with Lori Holt's stuff, like the new I can't think of the name. Stitch Along starting in June. But anyway, so I bought that. And I bought some more of these. They were on clearance for 49 cents. The iron-on. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I have an idea that I really need to just try and see if it works. And if it does, I'll do some more. But I don't know. I saw a lady where she actually used Inktense pencils, and she would, instead of rubbing them in water, she would rub them in fabric medium, and she would color on fabric, which I thought was really, really pretty. But again, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. They were 49 cents. I couldn't leave them there to languish, which is why I have a lot of stuff. Anyway, so that is my stitching for the week. I was kind of all over the place. Like I said, my head is throbbing. The rain has finally stopped. The sun is out, but we just got a river flood warning, and we live right on the river, but the river is, you know, a good 20 feet below us. So, you know, if the river floods and if we flood all of Lafayette, which it's done before, but this house still didn't flood when all of Lafayette flooded. So, you know, I think we're okay. But that just means everything's draining into the river, and it's getting high. So anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope everyone has a good day. Hopefully I'll get more stitching done now on Tuesdays, especially now that our small group is over. Tonight's, like I said, the last meeting. And so hopefully I'll get more stitching done, and I can be a little bit more focused on what I have to do. and hopefully I can get some sewing done. My husband and my son hung up a pegboard for me, so I got all my quilting rulers hung up, which is nice because I discovered like some that I have multiples of. So I'm getting all that organized. So hopefully I can get some more sewing done, and I'm going to try to put out a quilt video once a month. Just show you guys what I'm doing, what I'm stitching on. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for joining me, and I gotta clean up this mess that I just made all over the dining room table. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.